In today's video, we're going to grab a camera and head out to get some before and after photos of a snowfall in Baltimore, Maryland. There's a snowstorm heading to Baltimore, so I had this idea to head out before the snow began to fall and we'd get a set of photos. Then we'll head back out after the snowfall and get a whole nother set. We'll put them together in Photoshop and see what kind of interesting compositions we can come up with. It's a really cold January day. The temperature is 12 degrees. The highest it's going to get is 15. So that's going to play a factor in how far we walk and how many photos we get. We're going to start off along the Canton Waterfront, looking towards the Canton Waterfront Park along the promenade. I think this is going to be a great spot to line up the first shot. All right, so what I'm thinking here is we're going to have the uncovered area on the left and the snow-covered area on the right, with the sidewalk breaking down the middle. Heading into the Canton Waterfront Park, you can see the Baltimore Harbor to our right. Now we're heading from the water towards the top, where we should be able to line up for a great view. Heading into the Korean War Memorial, this location is going to give us a great spot to line up our shot. It's pretty much the center point of the park, so from here we're going to take 3 individual photos, merge them into one panorama. And what I love about this is you get the wide open view, you get the waterfront, and even Fort McHenry in the distance. Now we're at the top of Boston Street. The cold, it's really starting to get to me. I got my face mask pulled up, but we're going to get one more shot from here. Looking down this sidewalk, I think this path is going to be a great way to transition from no snow to snow. It's time to start making our way north. We're heading to Patterson Park next. Climbing some steps and then heading to the easternmost side of the park. I have an idea in my head where I think we're going to be able to line up for a really good shot. At the top of this hill, we're going to get a view that overlooks the whole park with the city skyline in the distance. Another wide-angle panorama should do a great job to show the snowy transition. Now we're heading back down the hill towards the center of the park. Next stop, the duck pond. This is going to be another great spot that all the locals know, and I think if I can line up a transition from bare ground to a snowy landscape, it should work out great. What I'm thinking here is that there's going to be snow piled on top of the ice. That should make for a really interesting composition. Now we're heading to the northwest corner, home to the most recognizable icon in Patterson Park, the observatory, also known as the pagoda. I really wanted to get a shot of this landmark, but I think what I'm going to do is go down towards the bottom here and get a shot looking up, where there's definitely going to be people sledding when there's snow on the ground. We'll center the pagoda to mark the transition to snow. And now we're heading back home to hunker down and wait out the storm. All right, we're back out after the snowstorm. It's still pretty damn cold. Let's go take a walk and see what kind of photos we can get. Back to our first spot, looking down the promenade. It's now snow covered. I think this is going to make a great transition. All right, here's the after, and now here's the Photoshop version. Now walking along the path is starting to feel much more like hiking. Some areas are beaten down, but some areas like this, you gotta make fresh tracks. Back at the top of Canton Waterfront Park, we head inside the Korean War Memorial to line up that second panorama shot. Here's the after shot. And here's the two merged together. I'm really loving this one. Back up on Boston Street, we're trudging through some thick snow. Next up, we got to line up that shot looking down towards the waterfront. You can't even see the sidewalk in this one, so it should make for a great transition. Making our way north towards Patterson Park, we're passing people digging themselves out from the snowstorm. Now is probably a good time to mention, I've already spent 2 hours this morning shoveling snow, so I'm quite tired before even starting this photo walk. We're back on top of that hill overlooking the entirety of Patterson Park. The view is spectacular, but I'm quickly realizing I have a problem. I can't figure out where I was standing at because there's no paths, there's no way for me to tell where the original photo was taken from. I walked around and took a couple test shots, and then eventually settled on right here being our best bet. It ended up working out great, where we have sledders on our right side, where it's going to make for a perfect transition. Next stop is back to the duck pond. We're trudging through some more thick snow, and this one's a little bit easier to line up, thankfully. I like all the elements of this one. We have the two trees that are taking over the top portion of the photo, and then there's going to be a much more wintry landscape on top of that ice. Hiking up to our last photo of the day, back to the Patterson Park Observatory. This is one of the prime spots for sledding in the city, with lots of families out and friendly dogs. Now we're back at the bottom of the hill, so as long as we don't get taken out by a sled, we should be in good shape. However, couldn't quite figure out where we took the original photo, but I landed on right here as our best bet. I got lucky with this group on the right side, which really highlighted the winter scene. Did it. So that does it for today's photo walk. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for another Baltimore photo walk.